Hi, this is Ann Kennedy. I'm at SES San Francisco, and I'm talking here with Shari Thurow of Omni Marketing International. Hi, Shari. It's really good to see you again.
I'm happy to be here. I love coming to San Francisco, and I love SES.
Well, we love you. You're a longtime speaker. So today's topic was AuthorRank. And you know the first question is coming up. You said something rather provocative at the opening. Why do you not have a Google Plus profile?
I do not have a Google Plus profile because, well, multiple reasons. The number one reason is that you don't have to have a Google Plus profile in order to be an expert. I am on the board of directors of multiple organizations. I'm on the board of directors of the Usability User Experience Professionals Association, the Information Architecture Institute, all kinds of places. And just because I don't have a Google Plus profile doesn't mean I'm not on the board, doesn't mean I'm not a published author. What it means is that I just don't have a Google Plus profile. And also, I think Eric Schmidt needs to get a muzzle put on him.
So apart from that, what would cause you to activate your Google Plus profile? Because, of course, you know how to do that. But what would be the triggering event that would make you do that?
That Eric Schmidt would put his quotes into better context. No, I'm just kidding. If my target audience genuinely used Google Plus, really used Google Plus, I would activate my account.
So it's really all about the audience, the user, and who you're trying to speak to. And isn't that what various people from Google have been telling us for years? You know, make your site for users, not for search engines?
They've been saying that for years, and that's why I was disappointed, and maybe I'm the one taking Eric Schmidt's quote out of context. But that's something that I think a lot of people do. They find a quote, they take it out of context, and it gets blown out of proportion. I'm not a search engine spammer, but if I were, I already know how to game the Google Plus system. That's how unreliable I think it is right now. Could it be better? Of course it could be better. But the odds of me activating my Google Plus account right now are pretty close to zero.
So you showed us several examples of how your articles, particularly on Search Engine Watch and all the ones you write for and your books, how they ranked even above some of the Google Plus profiles. And you gave us some tips on how to do that, how to make sure that it is understood that you are a subject matter expert. Do you want to run through those? There were 3 steps. I remember that.
3 steps, and these are the building blocks of search engine optimization, by the way, and they haven't really changed since the 90s. So the first thing to do is to have a clear labeling system. Humans, as well as software, as well as machines, are going to appreciate a clear labeling system. So there's document labels, there's navigation labels, and there's content labels. And learn to label your content consistently so search engines know what your content is about. The second thing is providing access to this content, and that includes access to current things, current articles, current white papers, as well as archived articles and white papers. And the third thing you should have access to is the author page. So if you are a subject expert, give people a list, a really well-organized list of where your stuff is. And the third thing to give people is validation. Find what social media your target audience uses. And then every time you come out with something really new and unique, or if you found something new and unique that your target audience would love, then absolutely let them know about it. And that's a form of validation, because that's what link development is. And social media is. It's a form of validation. So if you do all 3 of those, you don't have to have a Google Plus account. But if your target audience uses Google Plus or is about to use Google Plus, then I would tell you to activate it. But right now, I'm somebody who won't.
So you've written several books, including the first book on search engine visibility, and we all appreciate that. Many of us learned from that. Do you want to talk a little bit about your subsequent books?
My book, even though it's 4 years old, is called When Search Meets Web Usability. And what a lot of people don't realize is that web pages and web documents actually rank based on what searchers do. And I think a lot of people focus so hard on what search engines do, and they really forget about the searcher. And Google wants what humans want. So that's what that whole book is about, is how to find out what searchers want and accommodate that in your website design, because my philosophy has always been humans first, search engine second. which is why I will never spam Google.
Well, if you think about it, what one of you on the panel today brought out, that what Google's looking to do is improve its own product for its customers. And so the idea that you can just spam them really doesn't suit that purpose, does it? Of course, they're going to look for the real authorities. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what do you think the future of AuthorRank is?
Well, it needs to get better. The first thing is it needs to get better, and it's going to be gamed. I mean, just as soon as anybody at Google says, you should do this, it can be gamed. And so I think we're going to see a lot of fake profiles. I think we're going to see a lot of garbage articles. And it's going to take Google researchers a while to sort through that stuff. So be on the lookout for nonsense, for rubbish. You'll see it. But also be on the lookout for the real experts to float to the top.
And would that happen after, say, there was a certain critical mass of data, for example?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with Eric on that point.
So, last question. What furry black and white animal will they name the update that corrects all of that after all the spamming?
Well, my favorite animal is a flamingo because my mother hates them. So I think they should call it the flamingo.
All right. You heard it from Shari Thurow, world-renowned search engine expert, author, columnist, and all-round good person to know. This is Ann Kennedy saying goodbye from SEO San Francisco. SES San Francisco.